Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This week we're going to be talking all about AI.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, things are moving really, really fast right now.
It is remarkable how fast things are changing.
It feels like every day there's something new and groundbreaking happening.
Yeah, this week was a really big week.
It really was so. I think a good place to start would be with Chat GPT.
Okay.
It now has access to real-time information.
And web access, yeah.
Which means that it's no longer working off of that old data set from like a year or two ago.
Right.
It's as up-to-date as Google searches.
Which is huge.
So like imagine asking it about like a breaking news story and it can give you a really detailed response right away.
Yeah, I think that this changes everything.
It really does.
I've been using it way more.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since it got this new update.
Yeah, I think even Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, said that he's been using it like twice as much.
Yeah, he did say that.
It makes you wonder, though, is this like the beginning of the end for traditional search?
I mean, it's certainly a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Like, why? Click through all these pages of results when you can just have a conversation with an AI and get your answers immediately?
It'd be like having like a research assistant like available 24/7.
Totally.
Which I think is why Google is kind of like scrambling right now.
Oh, definitely. They are feeling the pressure.
So they're giving Google Maps an AI makeover.
Oh, wow.
So you'll be able to like ask it questions like, where can I grab dinner with friends tonight? And it'll give you recommendations.
Wow, so it's like a digital concierge for your life.
So, Google's stepping up their game, but Microsoft, they're also in this race.
Oh, yeah.
They seem to be pushing AI integration like really hard.
They are.
Even though they did delay that release of their Robo feature,
right,
which would have let AI see your screen and interact with your computer.
That'd been wild.
But here's the big news.
Okay.
Microsoft's GitHub Copilot can now generate entire applications just from you describing it.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
Wow.
So you could describe the app you want and it writes the code for you.
How's that even possible?
It uses these large language models trained on like massive data sets of code.
Oh, wow.
So it's like having an army of expert programmers at your fingertips.
That's insane.
It really is. This is going to be a game changer, I think, for software development.
It has to be.
Imagine anyone being able to create an app regardless of their coding skills.
It's really going to democratize technology.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And I think it's also interesting that GitHub is now going to incorporate AI models from other companies.
Oh, really?
Like not just OpenAI, but Anthropic and Google as well.
Oh, wow. So they're really opening it up.
Yeah.
This is all just incredible. And then on top of all that, we have these advancements with robots this week.
Yeah, the robots are getting really interesting.
Boston Dynamics, the company behind like those crazy robots that can do backflips and parkour.
I love those videos.
They released a video of their Atlas robot celebrating Halloween. And get this, it's wearing a hot dog costume.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
That's hilarious.
I know, but it's both impressive and a little unsettling.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's another robotics company, and they showed off their humanoid robot.
Okay.
And it's walking with this like really realistic hand. It reminded me so much of Westworld.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of creepy. And then it gets even crazier because a robot cellist actually performed with a symphony orchestra in Sweden.
No way!
Yeah, it was built with 3D printed parts and advanced robotics.
I mean, that's just incredible.
Oh, were we like on the verge of this future where robots are like composing symphonies and writing novels?
Who knows at this point?
I mean, where does it all end?
That's the question, isn't it?
And then on top of all of that, there's this mind-blowing fact that 50% of all internet content created in the last 2 years was actually made by AI.
Seriously?
I know, it's crazy.
Half of everything we're seeing online.
It is a lot to process.
That's wild.
And it raises a lot of questions about information authenticity and the future of the internet.
It really does.
I think that's a good place to stop for now, though.
Okay.
We'll dive deeper into that and more in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
So stick around. Welcome back to the deep dive. We just left off talking about how 50% of all internet content created in the last 2 years was made by AI.
That is insane.
I know, it's like half of everything we're seeing online.
Like, are we reading articles written by bots?
Yeah, are we watching videos made by bots?
It's a little scary.
It really is.
We need to think about how we consume information online.
So it's not enough to just read an article or watch a video.
No.
We need to be thinking about who or what created it and what their intentions are.
We need to be more critical.
Yeah, like almost become AI detectives.
I don't know about detectives, but more aware. For sure.
Yeah, more aware.
AI can create some really persuasive content.
Right.
But it can also be used to spread misinformation.
That's true.
And manipulate opinions.
Yeah, how can we even know what's real anymore?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a scary thought.
But remember, AI is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
True.
The key is to be aware of the potential pitfalls.
So how do we protect ourselves from being misled by AI-generated content?
Well, I think one thing we can do is be more critical
Right.
of the sources that we rely on.
Like, don't just accept information at face value.
Right. Do your own research, cross-reference.
Or fact check, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay, and are there any tools or technologies that can help us, like, spot this stuff?
Yeah, there are actually.
Oh, really?
There are websites and browser extensions
Cool.
that are designed to detect AI-generated text.
Oh, wow.
And I think we're going to see a lot more tools like that.
It's like the Wild West of the internet all over again.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But instead of outlaws, it's bots.
That's a good analogy.
So we were talking about Meta before and their surprising partnership with the US government.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
So they're making their AI model, Llama, available for these public service projects.
Things like improving access to clean water.
Yeah, and supporting small businesses. What do you make of this move?
It's a little unexpected.
It is.
I mean, Meta has been criticized a lot in the past.
Yeah, for their handling of user data.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it feels like they're trying to kind of reposition themselves.
Yeah, like as a force for good.
Like, hey, look, AI can actually be helpful.
AI can make the world a better place.
But let's be real. Meta also benefits from this.
Oh, for sure.
Closer ties with the government gives them access to valuable data and resources.
True, and they could also probably have some influence on future AI regulations. There's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, a mix of genuine desire to do good and self-interest.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act.
Speaking of balancing acts, let's talk about Elon Musk.
Oh, boy.
So, at the Future of AI conference, he's still saying that AI is humanity's biggest threat.
He loves saying that.
He's predicting that AI will be smarter than humans within the next few years.
Wow.
But then he also predicts that humans will land on Mars within 2 years.
It's like he's living in a different reality.
I know it's hard to take him seriously sometimes, but do you think his AI concerns are valid?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of experts share his concerns
About AI.
becoming too powerful and surpassing human control.
Okay, so what can we do about it?
Well, I don't think stopping AI research is the answer.
Yeah, that wouldn't really be possible.
It's not realistic, and it's not even desirable.
Because AI could also, like, help us solve problems.
Exactly, like climate change or disease.
Okay, so we need to find a way to develop AI safely.
Right. We need to prioritize ethical considerations every step of the way.
So it's not about being afraid of AI. It's about making sure it's used for good.
Exactly. We need to be having these conversations about the ethical implications.
And involve a lot of different people in those conversations.
Absolutely. We need diverse perspectives.
Well, we're kind of writing the next chapter in the AI story.
I like it.
And the choices we make today determine what that chapter is going to look like. Do we want a happy ending or a dystopian nightmare?
Hopefully a happy ending.
I think we all want a happy ending. We're not quite done with this deep dive yet.
Okay.
There's still one more piece of this puzzle.
How's that?
The implications of AI in government.
Right.
And of course, we need to talk more about Elon Musk.
Oh, we can't forget about Elon.
And his predictions for the future. So stick around for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll wrap things up.
All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into this week's AI explosion. We talked about AI that can write code, robots playing instruments, but there's one last thing we need to unpack.
What's that?
Remember Meta and their partnership with the US government?
Oh, yeah, that was a weird one.
It was. Making their AI model, Llama, available for all these public service projects.
Yeah, like using AI to, like, improve access to clean water.
Yeah.
Support small businesses, streamline government processes.
It sounds pretty good on the surface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want those things?
But I can't help but think about, like, the potential downsides, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Like, what about data privacy?
Yeah.
Algorithmic bias.
It's a slippery slope.
Could AI be used for, like, surveillance or control?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling.
Definitely.
So how do we ensure that AI in government is a force for good?
Well, I think transparency is really important.
Like, we need to know how these systems are being used.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about accountability?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if something goes wrong, who's responsible?
Right. We need clear guidelines and oversight.
And I think public education is crucial too. People need to understand how AI works and how it's being used.
Yeah. If we don't understand it, we can't really control it.
Right. It's a team effort.
Totally.
We all need to be involved in shaping the future of AI. Speaking of shaping the future, let's circle back to Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon.
He's been pretty vocal about his concerns with AI.
He loves to talk about AI.
Calling it humanity's biggest threat. Do you think he's overreacting, or is there some truth to his warnings?
I think there's some truth to it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the idea that AI could become super intelligent and surpass human control, it's not just science fiction.
So it's a possibility we need to consider.
Absolutely. We need to be prepared.
So what can we do?
Well, like I said before, I don't think stopping AI research is the answer.
Yeah. That's not really feasible.
But we need to be careful.
Okay.
We need to prioritize ethical considerations and invest in AI safety research.
So it's not about being afraid of AI.
Yeah.
It's about using it responsibly.
Exactly.
We need to be aware of the risks, have open discussions, and demand responsible development.
I think that's a great way to put it.
So the future of AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's being shaped right now by the choices we make. So it's up to all of us to decide what kind of future we want.
It really is.
Pretty profound stuff, huh?
Yeah, it makes you think.
So are we on the brink of an AI utopia or a robot takeover? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning of the AI revolution.
We're just getting started.
And it's gonna be a wild ride.
Buckle up.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. But we'll be back next week with a whole new topic. So until then, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon.